Hello, everybody. Are we, Kelly, or I'm not sure if we're at it. So it's just me and Santos, not you. Is that the story? So I get to see you, but nobody else does. Santos, how are you, man?
Good, good, good. And yourself?
I'm doing well. Um, I was supposed to head down to Mexico, but I'm kind of weighing that out right now. So where do you want to start, Kelly? Do you have a place that you want us to start? I mean, there's so much to talk about in this. What's going on in the world? You don't care. You don't want to
Gentle-
join. You don't want to join us on screen. You look lovely.
Oh, well, thank you. But no, this 2 hours is for both of you. You can discuss whatever you would like to. You both can share screen. Enjoy your time. If you need me, I'm always here.
Okay. Well, will you be monitoring chat if there's any questions? We Santos and I love questions.
Yes, I absolutely can.
Okay.
Great.
I'll start off by just saying, I think the majority of your listeners, and I could be wrong. I took a little survey in the chat earlier. I asked if anyone thinks the Earth is a globe, and I didn't get any yeses. So it's getting more and more difficult to find globe Earth believers. So that to me shows how this movement, I don't want to call it a movement, I just call it an awakening, a lifting of consciousness is really taking off. Yeah, and the globe trolls, they want you to believe that flat earth is dying. That's their favorite comment. Flat earth is dying. You guys are morons. But it's not dying, it is surging faster than I've ever seen anything else surge. That's how I see the world. Maybe I'm just a crazy flat earther, but my heat map of people using the app is showing. When I went to Flattoberfest, which was the conference down in South Carolina, there was 171 people within a 50-mile radius that were blue dots, and when I came back, there was over 200. So just the couple days I was gone, it's growing everywhere. Santos, how do you feel about that?
Oh, of course, it's got to return. The truth must return. To think that these dumbed down, educated know-it-alls with absolutely no shred of an evidence, of not even a half of an evidence, with no scientific experiment, with no real proof of their globe in which they demand that we presented, to think that they are laughing not only at us, but I say to most of the guys, are you laughing to the Mayans, the people who gave us the Mayan calendar, because they were infinite plane stationary earthers? Are you laughing at the Incas who built pyramids, the Toltecs, the Aztecs, the Nazcas? Are you laughing at the ancient Egyptians who only just a couple of hundred years ago, only just a couple of hundred years ago, with the destruction of Tartaria, was the knowledge of the stationary plane T, Earth, that we live on? So it's only been a couple hundred years. You see, every single culture in history knew that we lived on a stationary horizontal plane. There will be the odd guy who will argue that and say, oh, no, well, there is Aristophanes and there was this guy and this Greek and this. These guys were inserted. These guys were manufactured. A lot of these people of history, they're not of history at all. What you have to do is you don't go to these guys who proved with their shadow sticks that the earth is such and such and all that bullshit. What you do is you go to the books, the sacred books and their cultures, and you will find that in every sacred text, you see, a lot of people these days, they think sacred is, oh, that's old duddy, fuddy duddy stuff now. We're scientific now. It's the science. You know, these days we give people V's and J's, and we're so sophisticated. You know, we can kill them in about 5 minutes with our treatments. So they laugh at all of these people with no evidence, nothing at all, and they think they're laughing at individuals called flat earthers. They're not laughing at us. They're laughing at their very own ancestors, which is despicable. It's despicable that they haven't read books. They don't read books, old books. I'm talking about real books.
You know, Santos. Sorry. I'm out there talking to different people every day. The trolls follow me around. They have nothing. They have nothing. Their best arguments all turn out to be flat earth proofs. Okay.
Yeah.
We're inverting all of their arguments into flat earth proofs. And it's unbelievable how weak-minded people are. I just did an interview the other day with a guy that is a diehard glober. And his co-hosts, his 4 other co-hosts, were all laughing at how bad I just completely embarrassed him. But he could not see, like, he's in a mindset where I think he said before the show, he goes, there's nothing you could say that it's going to convince me the earth is a globe. Well, that says it all right there, because that is a truth. There is nothing I can tell him that will convince him that the earth is proof, because he has set that up for himself. Just before, I don't know if you were listening to April and Jay, who are always so positive, and they, you know, how they say that what was exactly what they were talking about, coming into your abundance, and the way you do that. And Santos, you know this is the simplest thing. Just do what you love, follow your heart, follow your passion. This is my passion, because it's so fun to wake people up to reality. It is so rewarding that my whole life was, you know, I live in the East Coast in America. Money, 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 right? Everyone wants to make their money, money, money. As soon as I stop caring about money, money takes care of itself, right? I'm not worried about that. I am here to help people, if they choose to, see the world that they have been given and that has been hidden from them.
Yeah, same here. My attitude has changed significantly in the last couple of months. I cannot see any reason at all why I should even respond to someone who is convinced of the psyop lie, which is satanic. Not even a yes or a no. I cannot give them any energy. If they really, really think that they are living on a sod of dirt, which is traveling at 650 million miles every single hour of history. Now, 600, there's no material known to man, there's no material known to the universe that can protect a sod of dirt wrapped in soft water and an atmosphere filled with butterflies. There's nothing that can protect it from burning up in a split second at 650 million miles an hour. Why? Because that's 870,000 mark. 870,000.
It's 100 times faster than this hypersonic sled. Watch it go by. So the speed we're chasing the sun is 100 times faster than that. Okay, you know, flat Earth. When you're explaining the heliocentric model, it's literally pure comedy at this point. I mean, it is so ridiculous that you have to laugh. Right? We're going 100 times faster, 10 times faster in our just orbit around the sun. Okay, and then we have this. Nature doesn't lie. Why does it, Santos, let me ask you the question. Why does that lake look like it's perfectly still? Or this one? Or this one? Or this one? Why does that look flat and still? Because we're corkscrewing through space? Or because it's flat and still?
It's just logical. I made a video, I just posted one recently, probably 2 or 3 days ago, and it's called "Is the Earth Dead Still, or is it flying at 650 million miles an hour?" Well, it's simple. It's so simple. The answer is the Earth is dead still.
I'm sorry, you're wrong. This is flat and still because of gravity. Gravity. And the Earth is so big, you won't notice. I mean, I can't help but laugh at these. Now, you don't respond to Globers at all. There's so many Globers, I don't even read their comments. But there's a few that if there's an audience of other people that are like, what's going on here? I will respond just for the other people. Like the guy I was talking to the other night, I knew I wasn't going to wake him up, but I think I woke up his entire audience. I think he now has gone to 0 followers. Okay. I took them all. And, then there was people like Owen Benjamin, when he first started discovering, talking about the moon landing being fake, and he wasn't a flat earther, and he thought flat earth was stupid. So did I. So we went over there. I got in front of him. Owen quickly got it. He didn't lose his audience. He converted them all to the truth. They're all flat earthers now, and they're all thriving better because of it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's what people were saying about me in 2015, because I was one of the early ones. I started talking about it at the end of 2014. I've got 4 videos where I can prove that. Anyway,
I remember.
Yeah. All right. And so all of a sudden, this onslaught of people attacking me. Santos is going to lose half of his followers. He's going to lose disrespect. He's going to ill repute, all of these things. Nothing of what they said happened. My followers doubled. The good ones, the people that I liked, stayed on and became flat earthers and intelligent and sexy. And all the ugly, rotten-headed, stinky people that I just thought were creeps, that I just tolerated because they would reach out, and all the ones that I just did not like, they all jumped off, and I've never seen them again. And it's just beautiful, because the flat earth came in and said, Santos, all these people that you think are just a bunch of stone motherless dumb retards, I'm going to get rid of them for you in an instant. Just watch, with one truth. And all the beautiful, sexy, intelligent, lovely, godly, amazing people, they stayed faithful, and they're still here.
Santos, I just I was saying I went to Flattoberfest. Karen B put on a mini conference in South Carolina last week, and Paige and I went down there, and we were so excited to go. Paige has been looking forward to it for months, and we got down there. There was probably 400 or 500 flat earthers in this town now. Every single one, a lot of new faces. This conference had more new faces than any conference before, and every single person was just a fascinating person, different walks of life, different economical statuses. None of that mattered. They were all awesome, awake people, and you could literally have talked to any person all day long, and you would not run out of things to talk to. So, again, there's so many things that are turning around on the Globers. They're like what do they say? They say, don't breed. Well, us flat earthers aren't doing this thing. We're probably going to be the only ones that can breed in the near future. Hold on, I lost my headphones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I can guarantee you one thing. Promise you. In the records of history, when we do the records of who got the V and the J and who didn't, you will find that there will be 0.1% flat earthers, and you'll find that it'll be 99.9999999 what I call upside down spinners. that get the V. You'll see. Because flat earthers just run rings around them like dolphins run rings around speedboats, and they laugh. They run rings around speedboats as fast as they can go, and they just laugh at them. They laugh. They even get time to sit and laugh at the speedboats. So that's what we are doing. And they just can't, all they've got left, there's only about four globe-tard trolls out there that are left that are still, that are battle wounded. They're like the knight in Monty Python. None shall pass. And he ends up with no limbs and no nothing, and he still wants to fight. And that's what they look like, these globetards. They look like that the black knight. He's got no limbs, and he's come back.
I'll bite your legs off.
Yeah, I'll give you an argument. What about the fart effect? What about the burp effect? If you burp in the southern hemisphere, it spins clockwise. And if you fart in the northern hemisphere, it just, well, I don't know what it does, but it sure does stink. And that's a theory, and that proves that we're on a globe. The fart theory. Yeah. That's it. That's all they've got left.
I did a radio interview just yesterday. I aired it today. It's on my channel, DITRH, with most radio hosts. They're really horrible, and, because they just laugh. They've never really looked at anything deep. These guys were horrible, but they were starting to get it, and they were doing that nervous laugh. Every time I brought up something, they do that nervous laugh because they had no, then they change the topic. I just want to say to the flat earthers out there, easy. We were all in their shoes at one point. You have to give them just a little time. Just give them a little time. Remember, when you first heard about flat earth, I banned people from my social media for life, for even suggesting if I look at a video. That was me. I would say that was pretty close-minded. So let's all just take a step back and give them a break. But if they're out of control, then just hammer the hell out of them. But just remember, we were all Globers at one time, including the great Santos Bonacci.
Oh, thank God I saw the light. Thank God. For me, it was the easiest switch. For me, it was so easy because I was already using the true model, the Ptolemaic, astrological / biblical / Srimad Bhagavatam model. So not only did I have the Western astrology and tropic and East astrology supporting the system, it was also the biblical system. So I was using that all the time, the Jewish system as well. So even though I was using Copernican explanations for the correct model, I was still using the correct model because I always had the Earth at the bottom, as Ptolemy had it. Then there was the moon, then the ring of Mercury, then the ring of Venus, then the sun, then Mars, then Jupiter, then Saturn. So, that's...
Kelly's asking, where do penguins live? Kelly, we both give you permission to speak into the microphone.
That was a comment in the chat, and I thought that was a good one. If there's the ice wall, where do the penguins live?
So let's not talk about ice wall. It's not an ice wall. Ice wall is a psyop by the Game of Thrones. All right, that would make you think there's a wall around a disc in space. It's just the shoreline of ice that never melts because the sun doesn't get close enough. This is the shoreline of our world, the outside of the pond. Large bodies of water need a container. Anything bigger than a drop of water needs a container to hold it in. Maybe a few drops can make a little shape, but once you get over a gallon of water, it needs a container, and the shoreline of Antarctica is our container. So we know that penguins live in the Arctic. They say there's penguins in the Antarctic. I think there are, but I don't know. I haven't been there. I haven't seen any penguins. You know anyone that's been to Antarctica that's seen penguins there?
No. not at all. There's no life there at all. Captain Cook said there's past the 65th or something latitude. He said, not even is there a piece of wood the size of a toothpick. There is no life at all anywhere in Antarctica past the 65th latitude, I think it is. No, you know what? I think it's even earlier than that. It's like in the late 50s. But whereas in the north, you can go to about 80, and you're still, there's life. There's all kinds of life.
Yeah, and there's people, you can spend $10,000 to $50,000 or more just to go for a couple of days on a guided tour to that little peninsula in Antarctica. I'm wondering if they've brought some penguins there, like a little zoo where they show you some penguins. Okay, I mean, that's not crazy. I mean, look at go to the zoo. You see a panda bear. Do panda bears exist in the wild? I have no idea, but it makes no sense that they do. Okay, how can a panda bear that has no way to defend itself live where there's lions? Maybe they taste bad and the lions know that. I don't know. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So that Antarctica that people go to that swear they've been there, and therefore
I know that there are people in Antarctica. I know people that have worked there, and we have some friends, clients of Pages that went there this year, but they were barely allowed off the boat. They were that when they were on the land, they weren't allowed. They were escorted, and I think they go right here. They literally go right to here. Now this looks small, but this is bigger than many countries, and this is all you get to see. You don't go out here in the outer space.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can go, and there's like 15 different companies that you can sign up for these very expensive trips to Antarctica. Do a little research. They're all owned by the same guy. They're all controlled. There's one guy that owns every web domain, Antarctica trip, Antarctica vacation. One guy owns it all. All these different companies, they're all the same company. Why is that?
Jesus, it looks more and more stupid for the Globies every day. Every day they get their panties pulled down. And yet, at the same time, every day, all the great works of proof and evidence we live on a flat earth gets removed by the tens off YouTube. They're just removing all the great old videos. All of them.
Yeah, that's why I'm not on my app. I have links to all of the videos. If you want to learn about it, get my app. You don't even need my app. Just go to my website, theflatearthpodcast.com. I think the playlists are all there. You can find the videos there. So I've been compiling them. We're also backing them up. I have a great guy that's backing up all of the featured videos on brighteon.com. That website has so many flat earth videos now, and it's only good ones that are there. So you can find this stuff, if you know where to look. If you Google flat earth, like the globe head I talked to yesterday or the night before, you Google flat earth and you end up with Professor Dave, who is a snarky actor who just gaslights and what's the other one? Gaslights and strawmans the hell out of us. And they got nothing. They got nothing. Nothing. It's
Absolutely.
So people say, Dave, how do you do this? How do you do this? Right. And I ask myself, how the hell I do it? And I go, it's easy. I'm right. When you're right, it's easy to argue with anybody. When you're right, it's like, I don't go in nervous anymore. I'm offering 3 Bitcoins for 1 proof of the globe, and I have 0. I could make it 100 Bitcoins. I don't have 100 Bitcoins, but it doesn't matter. There's no proof of the globe. There's no doubt in my mind whatsoever. There's no proof of the globe. Now, the construct of what the flat earth is, we're all figuring that out. That's something we're going to be figuring out for a long time. But the only thing that we know absolutely for sure, without any doubt or any possibility of a doubt, is that we're not on a spinning ball flying through a space vacuum. Ridiculous.
100%. It's provable not only scientifically, but even just through your senses. Science, this is what people don't understand. All of the scientific experiments ever conducted to prove whether the Earth is moving or not have confirmed that the ether is moving and the Earth is stationary. Now, when you look at the interferometer tests conducted by Sagnac and Michelson-Morley and Michelson-Gale, those interferometers, they were designed to detect any movement of anything dealing with light. So what they did when they conducted their test, each one of them concluded that there is one movement, and that is that something is moving at 15 degrees every hour. Every test that has ever been conducted in history when it comes to light proves that there is one motion, and that is 15 degrees every hour. So my question is, why isn't the orbit of the Earth detected 33 seconds every kilometer through the ether? Why isn't the speed of the solar system being detected going around the center of the Milky Way galaxy, which is 550,000 miles an hour? And then why isn't the greatest speed, which I mentioned earlier, 650 million miles per hour detected of our whole galaxy flying around the center of the universe? So there's only one movement detected, and it's always 15 degrees an hour of motion. Therefore, you cannot attribute that to the Earth, because if you say yes, that's the
slowest speed that the Earth is doing. The spin of the Earth is the slowest speed.
Well, but it's only spinning. It's not rotating. It's not orbiting. There's no orbit.
No, none of that makes sense. Polaris not moving. You know, when people say, "Oh, well, 40,000 years ago, Thuban was the star." Oh yeah, and then in another 40,000 years, it's going to be another star. But we happen to live right in the time where we're lined up with the Polaris, and for all of known history, it hasn't moved. That makes no sense. But here's the thing: you guys have seen my sun fade out video. Now, this is super zoomed in. It's from a drone. And I don't care if it's in focus or not. It's in the best focus that it can be. But the sun went down. It was moving and moving and moving. If the Earth was spinning, it would just keep on going. But it didn't. In 5 minutes, it went from up here to here, and then it stopped. And it sat here for 10 minutes. This is sped up like 2,500 speed. And it stopped going down. And it just went out of its ability to throw whatever it is it's throwing, the light, the electricity, its image through the atmosphere. This alone proves that we are not spinning because the sun stopped moving. Stopped. Game over. Next. You know what? And here's the thing. You just need one broken link in a chain for the chain to be completely broken, right? The globe argument is completely, there's no chain. It's gone. There's nothing. There's not one proof.
How do globies respond to that one?
Get a solar filter. It's out of focus. Learn how to focus a camera, right? So you know what I did? I filmed this a whole bunch of times, and to get it has to be literally below freezing. I have to warm my batteries up, warm my fingers up, and it has to be super clear. It has to be just at the right time. And it's really hard to get these. So one time I was like, all right, we're going to have it. The day is good. There's no chemtrails. And so I put a solar filter on and I sent it up and the sun went down, 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 down. And it disappeared before it even got to the horizon. You couldn't see it. It's completely gone because they're blinded with their friggin' solar filter. I didn't swear it, Kelly. And then it went down to the bottom. And I landed it, took the solar filter off, sent it back up, and there was the sun again. They want you to put blinders on that the government is willing to give you for free. So God forbid you look at an eclipse and maybe get a little information, a little upload, a little something. I make it an effort whenever there's an eclipse to stare at it with my naked eyes. I don't put anything over it. I am grounded to the earth and I love it. And, we're told in school, they give all the school kids solar glasses, solar filters. Don't look at the sun. Look at it through a friggin' pinhole because you'll go blind. Well, how many people have gone blind from looking at eclipses? Nobody ever. Okay. There was like one guy in like Thailand, went blind, 80-year-old guy. They say it's fake story even. But if looking at eclipses made you go blind, there'd be like millions and millions of blind people every time there's an eclipse.
Yeah.
Millions.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we have a couple questions regarding also what is outside the ice wall, and if maybe you could explain like the foundation of the flat Earth and the firmament, just some subjects to think of.
You want to start, Santos?
So what's beyond the
shoreline? The shoreline of our world. We'll call it the ice wall shoreline. Wall says Game of Thrones. There's two sides to a wall. There's not. There's the cliff, which is a wall, and then there's the plateau. I don't know what's out there. I don't know how far it goes. I don't know if there's more water beyond it. I don't know if it's set up like this. Maybe it's 1,000 miles of ice and then another ocean with another sun. I don't know if it goes ring upon ring upon ring. I don't know if
it does. It does.
If I believe you, and that's my understanding. And if someone said, "Hey, let's make a bet," I'm betting on that. I just haven't been there.
I can show you scientifically, and for all the listeners right now, I will give you the video that I produced, which proves conclusively that the electromagnetic universe and the flat Earth we live on is concentric rings that go out and out and out. And what connects them is ice. Ice is connecting the lands. So, and there are rings. And you will see that in a video I produced called Plain Earth is Scientific, Globe Earth is Not, on my channel, Mr. Astrotheology. You'll see the model that I use, the David Lapointe model, showing how the electromagnetic torus field first produces material coagulation at a certain, circumference. Then there's a void, and then there's more coagulation. Then there's a void. Then there's more, and it keeps going, and it continues. Now, Sir Captain George Hubert Wilkins, a Tasmanian historian and explorer in the 1930s, he said that he went 5,000 miles beyond Antarctica and found what you're showing on those maps there, David. He found lands 5,000 miles beyond what he called the Antarctic Ring. Sir Captain George Hubert Wilkins.
And for those of you that don't know, there is a book called The Iron Republic, which is written by an ex-politician in the late 1800s who was fed up with politics and corruption and went to Antarctica he had a ship and a crew, and they had provisions for 3 years, and they found an inlet. They got kind of sucked into it. And then they came out of it and they were lost at sea. They couldn't figure out where they were. And they came across these lands out here, and it was called the Iron Republic. Amazing society, whole different governmental structure. Money was completely different. It was just an advanced society. And basically it was people that were fed up with the tyranny here in the 1600s that moved out there. You can find it on YouTube for free on the Morgiles channel. Just look up the Iron Republic. It's a 5-hour read. Great for a long drive. I just listened to it on the way down to South Carolina. And you can also get the book also available. I believe it's on Amazon. Great story. And then whether it's true or it's not, because we weren't there, I believe it's true. it doesn't matter. They were in the 1800s, 1901, 1902. They were talking about, they had all these ideas of land beyond Antarctica, governments out there, amazing stuff. And, and I say this in all my interviews for the newbies, if this is more land, it's extra territory, and somebody lived out there, Santos, in this outer space area, and they came to visit us in here, they'd be an extraterrestrial from outer space. Okay? I mean, the idea of extraterrestrials coming from distant stars is the dumbest thing ever. It's so dumb because people can't fathom the distances. Did we cover that question? The what's out there? I mean, yeah, I think we did. Did we? I think we answered it.
Well, yeah, I would say there's way more lands, and concentrically goes outwardly. It's like Russian dolls. The whole model, that's the model of an atom anyway. What is an atom? Right, an atom is a nucleus, and what's around it? Shells, right? Shells. What do they call them? Shells. So, yeah, well, you'll have, say, carbon will have 6 electrons, but there'll be 2 here in the first shell. Then they'll have the next shell, another 2, and then another 2 in the next shell. So you could call those domes, those one like you're showing there. They're just the shells of an atom. You're actually looking at an atom in macrocosm.
So the guy in Animal House, when he was sitting there smoking and getting high, talking about a whole universe in his fingernail, that's real?
Yeah, well, everything's.
Did I just date myself? Everyone, I guess, does everyone know that? Kelly, do you remember that scene in Animal House? Or is that before your time?
No, I watched Animal House.
Okay. Where the guy the professor was talking about the whole universe in his fingernail in a cell, and everyone's like, "Wow!" And there is infinitely small and infinitely large. I believe that we're on something much bigger. How about this? I'm curious in your opinion on this, Santos. Everything from every rock to every piece of dirt to just every piece of material on this earth was once alive.
It is still alive. It breathes. Yeah, it is. It's the body of the demiurge.
Okay.
So the originating point is what's called Krishna. Krishna expands. Now, in the Neoplatonist model in the West, we say it's an emanation. We call these emanations from the monad. So what happens is Krishna would be Christ, which expands into Vishnu, which expands into Brahma, which becomes the body of the God, and we are living in the body of that God. The Neoplatonists said that we are like the suns, the stars in the heaven are like cells in the brain, like the pia mater, the brain of God, the demiurge. So in one way or another, man is the measure of the universe, and man is an atom, and we are the model. Our body is the model. The Egyptians, that's why every temple is in the shape of the T, the shape of the human body. The altar is always here in Aries and Taurus. Gemini is always the 2 arms. Cancer, and then Leo, the heart, and Virgo, the belly. That's where all the people sit down in the cathedral. And the altar is always in Altor, the Taurus, which is the neck, the cerebellum. The cerebrum is Aries, the Lamb of God, or the Hiram Abith in Masonry. So there's only that one model. Every temple is made in the model of the universe and the man. But where the earth is the heart. It's an anagram for heart, and it is the plane of inertia which goes across through your heart, across the whole earth. It never stops. Your heart actually pulses, and makes a radial wave which goes forever.
I love first time I heard that Earth is an anagram for heart was on Marty Leeds video called I'm spacing on the name. It's called what was Marty Leeds video? Somebody, Zach, help me out. One of the videos that really woke up a lot of people. It's called the Flat Earth, the Ultimate Litmus Test. Anyone that hasn't seen that, look it up on the Marty Leeds 33 channel. You can also find it on my app under documentaries. If you haven't seen it, it's a must see. And if you have seen it, you should watch it again. Okay. Did you watch all the Iwaranon videos, Santos?
Yeah.
Did you know he just came out with another one 2 days ago?
Yes.
Okay, you saw it. What did you think?
Pretty good, pretty good. He's got a lot of really good research. There's just something about his view of the Bible and its being only a literal work, which kind of irritates me. He doesn't see that such a thing as the perennial philosophy exists, and Christianity is only a small part of that. That, you know, there is, you know, Buddha is actually Christ in their language.
Yes.
He doesn't understand that. He thinks that Buddha is evil and that only Christ Jesus and only Christianity is the true way. But he doesn't realize that they are all actually other forms of Christianity. There's no difference.
I get it. And we're coming from the same page there. I don't 100% agree with everything that he says, but I leave the stuff I don't agree with and I take the good stuff. No one's going to get it all right. That's what makes this place is amazing. No one's going to get it right, because if you get it all right, the game's over.
Yep. No one individual, but I think the Academy will. That's why.
What academy is that? What academy is that?
Syncretism Society Academy,
all
Virtual
right.
Academy. Yeah, because there will be an academy of teachers, of instructors. So within all of those minds, as they are continuously pulled together, there, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We all pull from each other, and the whole truth will be gathered by many.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that's it's such an exciting journey. Like, I look back at my normie life before I woke up to all the deceptions in the world, and especially flat Earth, and I'm like, I was happy. I thought I was, right. I was like, I had my job, and I watched my movies, and I drank my beers, and I had my season tickets to the New York Jets, and that was a disaster. But I had the normie life. I was just the normie, right? And I love going to movies. Now it's like going to a movie. The only reason I'll go to a movie now is because I want to see the predictive programming in it. Although I haven't gone to a movie in years. Just now I watch them not for their entertainment value, to see what baloney, I'm allowed to swear today, that they're trying to pull on us.
Yeah, I know.
So cute.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Go ahead.
No.
I have a question. Yes.
Go ahead.
Me? So to see what you see now that you missed years ago is staggering.
It's amazing. I've always been told the television is programming. It's mind control, and I'm like, oh, stop it. Gilligan's Island's awesome, and all this stuff. But now I look at it, it's all to literally take your mind away, right? And they don't want us to know that our thoughts create our reality. Kelly, everything you have in your life is because of the way you think, right? Santos, that the Synchronism Society came out of your expanded thoughts. Everything I have in my life, which is nothing I couldn't even have imagined, like, I didn't know how I would get here. I knew I wanted to be here, but the path to get here isn't the one I thought. But they have us in a globe which limits your thoughts. That you're that's it. There's nothing else to discover, Truman. It's over, right? And once you can expand beyond that, you start seeing, like, I've been trying to wake people up to all of the, the big events, Boston, New York, Connecticut, and everything else. And I figured that I called it exposing the big three. And I figured those are so easy to wake people up to, kind of. And once they wake up, I'm like, they'll start to see. And people wake up to them and then they go right back to sleep. They're like, oh, well, the administration's changed. There's different people now, blah, blah, whatever. But when you wake someone up to flat Earth, it's over. I haven't seen anybody, a rare, there's like one or two guys that supposedly switch back to the ball, but that's not even the case at all. Nobody does. And everyone has a positive change. Now, it was tough when you and I started in 14 and 15 and 16. You said, you got all the heat and everything, and, you lose friends. Now it's easy. Now, like, as I was saying, it's very difficult to find shows that aren't like, yeah, I'm doubting the globe. That's they're at least doubting the globe. If you're doubting the globe, by the way, you're a full-on flat earther. You just don't know it yet. Okay. Yeah. And so it's getting more and more difficult to find these shows. I did find two this last week, and that was amazing. Yeah. Those are I don't know. The one I did with the 5 people and the Globey, the other people didn't even say a word through the whole show. I got wound up. I mean, I didn't get to bed until like 3 a.m. after that one. It's like I get so wound up because I'm trying to get this information. I don't know. It's a game to me. It's all just a game. I guess that's it. I love games. I love puzzles, and I love roller coasters. What's better than 2020 and 2021? Okay, yeah. Puzzle game, roller coaster. That's where we live.
So the question that came up is, how is there a correlation with Tesla's teaching of the torrid field, the 369, and everything being energy, frequency, vibration with flat Earth?
Go ahead, Santos. Yeah, that one?
Yeah, the 369 is quite simple. The answer to that, it's electromagnetic. They are the perfect electromagnetic numbers. How so? Because every cycle is a 12ness. 12 is the magic number, right? So there are 12 musical tones in the universe. There are 12 cranial nerves. Our bodies are made of carbon 12. There are 12 systems in our body. There are 12 30-degree segments along the ecliptic of the zodiac. 12 is this universal number that cannot be denied. So 112 equals 12, which is 3. 2 12s is 24, which is 6. 3 12s is 36, which is 9. 4 12s, help me out, Dave. I'm going slow today.
48, 12.
Right? Which is 12, which is 3.
Yeah. 369, 369.
It's 12. The number 12, which is the universal cyclical number, always does 369, 369, 369. Every time it does a revolution. So every revolution is 369, 369.
So think about this. We know very little, in normie world about Tesla and stuff other than, he had some great, amazing ideas. Why don't they teach that in school? They teach us to be good slave math, accounting, geometry, basic arithmetic, which is important. They don't teach us about sacred geometry, right? When I learned about sacred geometry, I watched every sacred geometry video, from your stuff to, there was a series this cartoon, I forget what it's called, something science, whatever, phi science, whatever. That one, that was like my introduction. And then I came across Randy Newman with Vortex Mathematics, right? He's still up there. You watch his stuff, it's mind-blowing, and I never heard of it in all of my education. Mind-blowing stuff. Why are they not teaching us that? We know why, because they need to keep us dumbed down and not realizing what this world is, what power we have, what power there is. Okay, we live in this self-sustaining, amazing, powerful system that we used to have access to, and they've cut us off with chemicals, with fear, with horror, with mind control, with the globe, with the news. I always say the news, north, east, west, south is the acronym. They're steering our minds with nonsense and fear.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that's to keep us away from our center and knowing that we are electromagnetic. Once we understand that we are an electromagnetic organism, we can then begin to manipulate that force. And then once you manipulate that force, you become a magician. That's what that's what a magician is. He knows about magnetism. You see, so how they do that is quite clever. They use a force called electricity, which is a polarized redshift, blue shift transverse wave, and they make everything electrical. Electric motors, electric this, electric that, electric, everything's electrical, and nothing is magnetic. And yet they put magnets in front of your eyes. They do this. They say, "Oh, look at this magnet! Isn't it amazing? This power. That's free energy. Look at that. Look at that. You can that movement, that acceleration between those two magnets. That is energy. You don't need electricity. You don't have to burn anything. You can do this. In fact, if you had a train and you had massive magnets and you put them like that along the track on an angle like that, you would be pushing the train along. And in fact, that's how they work. That's how these free energy high speed.
But Santos, this would go against national security. I think you should be arrested and put in jail for even suggesting such a thing.
Yep, I know. I know.
That's yeah. There's so many people that have come out with with these things that were either bought up, stolen, killed. That's what they're hiding. They're hiding our the way for us to be free. They control us with energy. They charge us for energy. They control our minds with the globe. They control us with their fiat money. Their monopoly money matches the color of our money, matches their monopoly board. And they just people like, it's all about, they're doing it for the money. They're not doing it for the money. They're doing it with the money. They don't need money. The elite, they need something, they type it into a computer and they have it. They don't need money. There's no accounting.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. And they want us not together. They want us separated. But we need to keep getting together. Again, this meeting of Flattoberfest was amazing. I'm so energized from being around all these amazing people, and they want us separated. I just watched a video today. Mark Zuckerberg, what he's doing with Facebook, he's turning it into a virtual world where basically people are just going to put on these VR goggles and stay in their house all day and pretend that they're buying stuff, and they're traveling and having meetings. They want us separated. They want us as little, power units for the Matrix. I don't know what the heck's going on.
Yeah, I heard about that. He's calling it meta.
Yeah.
The meta world, which is an anagram for atom. And guess what? All is atom. So everything goes back to atom, whatever you do. The perfect word is actually going back to atom, the true model.
Wow. The this world is amazing. What do you think is going to happen in the next couple of years? Is it set? Does it matter? Are we going to make the difference? Are we setting the course? I feel that the awake people are creating the world that we want, just like we always do. And they need us to agree to their nonsense for it to happen, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So people like, oh, what can I do? I'm one person. Well, you are a massive influence. One person is a massive influence. And, just like they wanted to have all these wars in the Middle East. And I was like, they can just start the war. They can just do it. But they needed us to pound the war drums energetically, right? So they did the whole New York City thing. And then everyone's like, pound the war drum. I did it. I pounded the war drum. We got to get those bastards. Okay. And because I was asleep to any of that. But now they can't do it without us. And I think enough people are waking up. That's why I love doing this, because people are waking up. People are withdrawing from the system. When you wake up, it's like Neo in the Matrix. He unplugged from the system, and now he's just got to sort it out and take his power back. I always tell people, compare Neo at the beginning of the first movie and at the end. Put those two Neos together. You got one sleeping normie, lost, depressed, tired, powerless, and you have one guy that's taken back his power and sees the world.
Yep. That's what's going on. People are waking up in their droves. So the king will expose that he has no clothes on, that he really has no power. The scientists are pseudoscientists. The doctors, already people are starting to see through the doctors as well, that they are actually in the forefront. The carers, they call them, the frontline carers. They're actually murderous people. Some of them are murderous, and people are starting to see through them. Once they lose trust in their doctors and their priests are shutting down their churches. The Jehovah's Witnesses are starting to sell up all their kingdom halls. Wow, didn't they do a good real estate deal?
Yeah. I think this topic, and I'm so happy that you are that the flat Earth is one of your top subjects to talk about, because people often say, Dave, with all the craziness going on in the world, why are you talking about flat Earth? And it's because it's the key to our freedom. You can't make proper decisions. You can't see the world if you're spinning out of control, lost in space, spiraling through an infinite, godless or distant God vacuum, right? You can't take your power back. When you plant your feet on the flat Earth, then you have you just from doing that, you get this incredible power.
Yep.
Right? So I just want to bring up, I'm going to share my screen with the map. I'll pop a link, the free link for anybody in the chat that wants to see it, just showing you where flat earthers are. Can you see this? So this is just a map of the people that have my app that have actually created a username, which is like 25% of the users so far. There's flat earthers everywhere. Okay. We're all over the world, right? The places that don't show any dots, there's no people there pretty much.
Yeah.
Zoom in. Let's go down. Let's see. You're down in Mexico. Let's see down here. And each one of these dots I think it can wake up a person every single day. Imagine that. How about one a year? I'm okay with that too. All right. But you can wake up a person each day. If everyone started doing that, it would be incredible. You're right here in Cancun, right?
Yeah. Let's go to Puerto Morelos. There's me.
We got a few people in there. There's people all over, down in even down. I did where am I? I did a radio show, a couple radio shows in South Africa, and all of a sudden there's dots in South Africa. So it's pretty cool. And I'll show you my favorite dot of all is right there in Antarctica. This is at I think it's the Casey station. This map, wait, can I zoom in here? If I zoom in, it's literally in this hut. There's this, Casey station right here. There's a flat earther there. Okay. Pretty
No.
cool. Pretty cool. And now these are only the people, the only dots that you're seeing are the ones that have their, when some people turn it off when they're done using it. So their dots aren't even there. These are the active users right now. When I first started, we had like one in New Zealand, and then all of a sudden, here they are. I'm wondering if all these people know each other. Okay. Yeah,
Wow.
these people should be meeting up every week.
Yeah.
Yeah. On my app, there's a I just implemented. If you don't have it yet, you need to update your app. There's a radius. You can choose 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 50 kilometers, something like that. And it'll tell you how many people are in that circle. And then you can send a group message to all of them. Hey, we're meeting over at the Syncretism Society today at 3 o'clock or tomorrow at 3, whatever. And you can have these instant meetups, instant new friends. Pretty cool stuff. So I'll pop this in the link in the chat so you guys can save it if you want to just zoom around. It's kind of fun. Here's the Middle East, not the Middle East, the United Kingdom. Be fun to find one in like one of like Buckingham Palace or whatever, or
Balmoral.
it'd be pretty cool. So I'm gonna stop sharing. I'll pop that in the chat. And
What was the name again, David?
What was the name of what?
The app?
The app is called it's a long convoluted name. It's called the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. And you have to make sure it's by Blue Water Bay because the Flat Earth Society already has a knockoff of it that will gatekeep your mind. I'll just put up a thing on the screen right here if you want to see it, which is, if I can find it, here it is. It's called the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Check it out and have a good time. People love it. Just read the reviews. Don't buy it. I'm not here to sell apps. Don't buy it. Just go read the reviews. That'll turn you into a flat earther if you're not already one.
Yeah, for sure.
Here, I'll put in the chat map. Boom. What else you got?
It's the ultimate intelligence test, David. The ultimate intelligence test is the flat earth. The ultimate ignorance test is the globe.
I tell people they're ignorant. Like some of them, I'm like, you're ignorant. I was ignorant. But by the end of this show, I tell them at the end of the show, you're either going to be realizing there's a problem with the globe and realizing that you need to look into it farther. I don't want to say become a flat earther right on the show because you need to investigate it yourself. Or you're going to be willfully ignorant, right? Being ignorant is one thing because we're all, trapped and it happens to us. But then once somebody shows you and you refuse to see, you are willfully ignorant. And that is horrible. I would never want to be that.
Yeah, ignorance is acceptable, but arrogant ignorance is not. Simple.
Right.
It cannot be tolerated in my books. There's, you can't be arrogantly ignorant. That gets you into a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble.
Correct.
If you're gonna argue intelligently, you're gonna have really, really good, solid arguments. And I'm afraid that most, if not all of these defending the Copernican satanic model, they don't even know how to argue. They've got no skills in arguing, or not arguing in a negative sense, but arguing a point. You have to be able to argue your point. It means to be able to give it validity and to be able to support it. They don't have anything of that. They have what's like circumstantial evidence. They have, well, what about everybody does? Why would things like, why would pilots and governments, and why would they conspire against, well, haven't you seen some of the things that they've done that are absolutely, why would they bomb innocent cities like Nagasaki and Hiroshima, killing innocent people. Why would they willfully put stuff in what they call V's, but are nothing other than euthanasia injections? Why would they put stuff in there that they know is harmful to the... Well, obviously there is something wrong and there is a conspiracy there. So if you...
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on a second. You don't trust somebody whose parents started a eugenics program called Planned Parenthood and who thinks that the world is way overpopulated and wants to complete it. You don't trust him with your health by injecting something into the human body. I don't want to get a strike because Dave took down the stream. He started talking about this stuff. That's crazy. People are trusting the guy that wants to depopulate the earth. Okay.
Yep.
That's insanity, right? God didn't create me perfectly. I need Pfizer to make me perfect, right? They're so upstanding.
Yep. And become their patented property because that's what they want. They want their model or as many of their products into your body as possible so that they can have as much property as possible. It's all about property acquisition.
It certainly is. It's and the way people have fallen into this, the way people just believe it. I mean, they're controlling our minds with cartoons. It's all cartoons. All the stuff that we believe, people believe it's because they were shown cartoons. They were told by a lion guy in a bow tie that we're on a spinning ball. You know what? Bill Nye, the lion guy with the bow tie, did not lie that boats on a ball would go over the curve. That's not a lie, because they would. He lied that we're on a ball, but boats on a ball, as they go away, would disappear from the bottom up based on the curvature. But they'd also disappear on the bottom up based on a flat earth with an atmosphere.
Exactly.
Right? So they're always telling us the truth. It's all about angular resolution limits of your eyes, right? There's a boat here. Oh, there it is. It's right there. But you couldn't see it before because it was just too small, right? Oh, I got a new image, and I've been looking for the perfect image. I had a video, but I accidentally deleted it. And it shows why big boats even disappear. Like the Globers will go, this is a small boat. The big boat in the distance, like this building here, the bottom few floors are missing. But one thing you got to look at, all of these balconies are the same size, the same height. But look, they get compressed. This is called atmospheric compression. Well, the Globers will say, well, that doesn't matter because the bottom 4 floors are missing. Well, if I held my finger right here and said I can cover my chin to my nose with my finger, you'd say, that's crazy. You can't. I can only cover the bottom of my chin. But if I move my finger out here, I can cover my chin to my nose. So these waves in the foreground, because the water ramps up to your eye level, will hide things that are getting smaller in the background. And I had a video. I got to try to film it again. It was, a little wavy day, and a boat was going across, and the boat looked like it was underwater. Like the back of the boat was completely underwater, but you can see the water for miles and miles and miles beyond the boat. So that's not behind a curve. That's behind what I call the wave front edge. The wave front edge. If I could find it while I'm talking, that would be wonderful. Here it is. Look at this wave front edge. So this boat, and it's better when it's going, right? This whole deck, there's guys on this deck, the whole back of the boat is gone. Now, if it was out a little farther, if it was out here, you would say, oh, it's over the curve, right? But it's not. It's just this bigger wave here is hiding the boat. But it's not the curve because look, the water is goes out and out and out. Now, if this boat was way out here, just beyond these waves, the whole bottom half of the boat would be missing because the boat would be smaller. Those waves are bigger, right? And
Yep.
that's how, whoops, I lost my headphones again. Stand by, I can't hear you.
Hey Dave, can you?
Yeah.
Hey Dave, can you step out of the picture? I'm going to take a screenshot of that.
Oh, I can send it to you, but
All right, send me that one and the other one before the one just before. That was a beauty. Thanks, man.
The cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, the control your minds with cartoons. You got it. But this is there's more. You know how the when the elite are doing something. I'm sorry to call them elite. When they're doing something, there's more than one reason. They're spraying the skies for more than one reason. Okay.
Of course.
Well, there's more than one reason that a boat will disappear over the curve. Atmospheric conditions, wave conditions, the miraging conditions, perspective. It's all, there's a whole bunch of things together. So it's never just one. And there's different things. So they disappear at different distances. This is the thing that I've been trying to say, that if the Earth is a ball 24,901 miles around, like they tell us, their curvature math says that a 6-foot tall person standing at the edge of a calm water should see a physical horizon no more than 3 miles away. You have to emphasize the no more, because the physical horizon's there. Now, some fog could roll in and make it 1.5 miles away. Okay, the horizon, when it's misty out, is it very short distance away because I can't see any farther, so that's as far as I can see. But nobody thinks that the sun is setting behind the water. If you're watching the sunset over an ocean, that it's just 3 miles away, that physical edge is 3 miles away. That's ridiculous. But that's what their physical ball dictates. It dictates a physical horizon that you cannot zoom in past no more than 3 miles away. Just go out. You don't need any equipment. You don't even need your reading glasses or your regular glasses. Anybody, even a blind person, can see farther than 3 miles. You can see a boat. You can see a buoy. That's it. Not a ball.
Yep. I used to live on the on Port Phillip Bay in Melbourne, and I used to look over and I could see Geelong from the beach. That's what 30, 40 miles. I could see it right over there, the whole bay, all of it, all around the whole bay.
This is a curved hallway. We'll flip it over, pretend it's the Earth, right? So this is a physical horizon. So if you walked over here and walked down there, you would disappear from the bottom up. Bill Nye was right. Okay. And then I could zoom in with the friggin' Hubble telescope, if that was even a real thing. And I couldn't zoom in past this physical barrier, physical horizon. We can see too far. We can see too far. It's over. It's over. It's over. And why is it, besides, the foundation of your world was set up to be a globe? I find it fascinating. I'm looking for anybody that has kids going to kindergarten, first grade. Are they still giving that worksheet out? That one of the first take-home worksheets is the orbits of the sun, the moon, and the Earth.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's one of the first worksheets kids are given. And I'm curious if I remember getting that, and I remember trying to figure it out. The moon goes over the sun. They want us to believe that the moon is going one way around the Earth. We're going the other way around the sun. They make it so confusing that the mind can't figure it out. But look, every sun, moon, and stars, all the stars, the sun and the moon, all rise in the east, set in the west. But one of them's going the other direction. It just looks like it's going that direction. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. They should.
Yeah, my one of my favorites is, so the moon is orbiting around the Earth, right? The sun is holding on to the Earth with its gravity, right? It's grabbing the Earth.
Yep.
So when the moon comes around back towards the sun, how come the sun's gravity doesn't speed it up or rip it away? It should speed it up, and as it comes back around away, it should slow it down.
Yep.
Okay. The three-body problem, the world's best supercomputer can't model three bodies orbiting each other. It can model two, but it can't model three. Are there more than three bodies in our heliocentric, nonsensical solar system?
Yes.
Yeah. But somehow we can predict where they're going to be for centuries. We know exactly where they're going to be. And people long before us knew where they're going to be. If you the Antikythera mechanism proves that, but Globers don't want to talk about that,
No, exactly.
No.
What I find amazing too, Dave, is that on January 4th, what they call perihelion day, the sun is 5 million miles closer to the Earth in Capricorn on January 4th than its opposite, July the 4th. July 4th is none other than aphelion day, which is in sun and moon terms, it's perigee, apogee. So we know that every elliptic orbit has a perigee and an apogee, right? So perigee is when it's closest to the other body. Apogee is when it's furthest. So when the sun is furthest the Earth, it's in Cancer on July the 4th, aphelion day. The opposite, January 4th, perihelion day, it is 5 million miles closer to the Earth. Now, if gravity existed, as they say, and that bodies say 5 million miles, wouldn't we be risking every single year that our Earth is just going to be sucked into the sun because we're 5 million miles closer?
It's only like 6% difference, though, Santos. 6%. It's not a lot.
Oh no, it's not really. Okay, yes, that's right. And
the Earth is so big, it's hard to move it out of it. Where it's going. It's so big, and you're so small.
So we're wrong again.
Yes.
And when I was a Jehovah's Witness, we used to say, "Oh, isn't Jehovah so wise that he put the sun and the Earth at the same distance so that we wouldn't get too close and we'd get sucked in, or too far out?" 93, he chose 93 million miles, our Lord Jehovah, the God of the universe, the creator. Thank you, Jehovah God, for making the Earth exactly at the same correct position so that it won't be thrust out into outer space, or it won't be sucked into the sun by gravity. Perfectly not. And yet there is a differential of 8 million miles between the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, and that does not affect gravity.
Think about this also with the distances of the sun. So you can go out. Well, you're in Mexico and the tropics, so screw you. So because I'm not, all right. So no offense. But here in Connecticut, we go into the winter, and everyone's vitamin D levels drop because they can't get much vitamin D from the sun, right? But in the summer, I can go out a couple hours before sunset and grab a lot of vitamin D. When the sun is over there, low, I can grab a lot of vitamin D. I'll get tan, right? I'll get color, right? From that low spot. In December, I can go out at noon when the sun is pretty damn high in the sky, clear day, can't feel the heat, not getting any vitamin D. I'll get whiter, and in December, we're 3.5 million miles closer to the sun. So I have a more direct angle. I'm 3.5 million miles closer. I should be loaded with vitamin D. In June, 3.5 million miles farther away, the sun is lower in the sky. That tilt supposedly causes seasons. I can suck up all the vitamin D and get some melatonin in my skin. It's over. The globe is ridiculous. Seasons prove the Earth is not a spinning globe with a tilted axis.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. It's the first thing. It's the first thing. And that little slight tilt, it would just, it's impossible for it to work, especially with aphelion and perihelion day. The opposite would happen, because in Cancer, the sun is furthest away from the earth, and yet you're roasting your tits off in the northern hemisphere. And in Capricorn, the sun is really, really close to the earth, and you're freezing your tits off in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah.
Another thing, David, that is so easy to debunk is the moon as well has an ellipse, an elliptic orbit around the earth, and the differential is 30,000 kilometers. So the moon can be 30,000 kilometers closer at any given time in its orbit to the earth than at any other given time. So 30,000 kilometers. Now, if it was all gravity that kept the moon right there at the right spot away from the earth, because her orbital thrust is pulling her away, but our gravitational pull is sucking her in, why, with this 30,000 kilometers of differential, why isn't the moon also getting sucked in? And if the moon is elliptical around the earth and the earth is elliptical around the sun, whenever there is a solar eclipse, guess which two planets are always the same size every year, anywhere they are along their elliptical orbits when they have a solar eclipse, wherever they are, perihelion, perigee, apogee, perihelion, apogee, or aphelion, they're always the same size, and yet the sun is millions of times bigger than the earth.
I never thought about that. Again, it's endless. It's endless.
It can go, look, the list can go on and on. I can sit here for ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Here's one thing that is my favorite one. My favorite one is this. Where does the moon disappear to for 60 hours every month?
Yeah, during a total solar eclipse, we should be able to see the moon with our naked eyes, and no one's ever seen it. No one has ever seen it.
Yeah, but apart from that, the moon is being eclipsed every month. People don't realize. That doesn't have to be a total eclipse. Whenever the moon is within 15 degrees of the sun, it disappears for 60 hours. It takes an hour. It takes 2.5 days, 60 hours, 2.5 days for the moon to transit a sign. So if the sun is in the middle of Libra, for instance, and the moon enters at 0 degrees Libra, it will go invisible when it gets within the 15th degree. Then it will pass the sun. It will be eclipsed. It gets eclipsed every day, every month, every single month. There's an eclipse of the moon because it disappears. It disappears from the sky. You cannot see the moon.
Isn't that because it's just not powered up? There's no light to project into our system?
Simple. It's because the sun's magnetic light is canceling the dielectric light of the moon. They cancel each other. The sun cancels the moon.
Okay.
Out. Simple. And that's what astrologers have said. Marcus Manilius, 2,200 years ago, Firmicus Maternus, he said that when any luminary comes within 15 degrees of the sun, it becomes what is known as under the rays or under the beam of the sun. Therefore, it becomes burnt. Therefore, it becomes invisible. So how can a moon rock ever just disappear? And then when it does appear, you see 7% of crescent and the other 93% is blue. How does the moon, wait a minute. The moon is blue? Well, it is, because you see a 90% full round moon every month at the new moon every month. It's blue. Well,
the whole thing that the sun, a gas ball in a vacuum, that's fun. Okay, is holding on to a whole string of planets that are go out for millions and millions and millions of miles, and all the planets are holding on to their own moons because of gravity, but the sun's gravity ignores all of them, ignores any lineups. All the gravity from each planet ignores the other planets. It, it what it is people aren't able to process that amount of thinking, to think how illogical, how impossible that is, right? And then they all talk about gravity. This is going on in Australia right now. Upside down people, okay, with trillions of tons of water. But meanwhile, there's people on the space station floating because they're falling around the Earth while it's corkscrewing through an infinite space vacuum.
Something's wrong with the globe model. When you go to Ecuador,
really,
there is 1,045 mile of linear and angular velocity, and yet there's hardly any tidal waves, tsunamis, or anything. That you can go to the beach, you can have a nice tranquil day at the beach. So I would like to ask the globe which is it? Is it the gravitational force that is stronger at Ecuador, or is there no centrifugal thrust from that 1,400 mile an hour? Because at the North Pole, there's no linear, there's absolutely no, well, very, very, very zero almost linear velocity. So, I mean, and when you land an airplane in Boston, you're only doing the Earth's only going at about 600 mile an hour there. So what instrument in the airplane are they using to adjust for when they land in Boston, as opposed to when they land in Guayaquil in Ecuador? Which is that instrument?
I have a bigger question. How does the bathroom work up here? Because I don't know how I'm going to use it, because I really got to go.
I know. You open your mouth.
All right.
Right? And you pull your willy out and you piss right in your mouth.
There you go. I mean, I don't have any budget. Give me $63 million just one day, okay? And I think I could do better than this, all right? So.
Hey, excuse me, Mr. Upside Down Astronaut. Can I ask you, please, why did you forget to bring a camera? I mean, I know you brought your toilet paper and your toothbrush to perhaps clean your anus after you poop yourself, and you brought your mother's and your grandmother's photo, and you brought your teddy bear to show people how it floats in the air and everything, but you didn't bring a camera of the globe that you said you swore when you came back. You said, oh, we saw the curvature of the Earth. We did. We saw the ball. We saw it. But what?
Did you hear?
Where are the photos?
Chris Hadfield was talking to William Shatner before he went up on that fake rocket ship, fake going up on it, and he said, whatever you do, enjoy the experience. Don't try to film it. Just enjoy it. Don't try to film it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And would you work with an engineer that is stupid enough? See, this is how my intelligence works. If I was going to go up in that rocket and I'm talking to the engineer, I would say, where are you going to mount the cameras so we can show the world history? Show me where the cameras outside are mounted. And the engineer will say,
Yeah. Think about this. The SR-71 is a marvel. It's so slick. It's like a razor blade. And then look at the space shuttle. Here we go. SR-71, like a razor blade. It goes Mach 2.3. Any faster, it starts ripping apart because of the drag on it. This thing goes 25,000 miles an hour on the way out. Okay. and it's got PVC pipes going down the side of it, right? It's got all sorts of square crap on it. 25,000 miles an hour. But check this out. When it's coming back in, it has to come in with its heat shield because it's going like, I forget the number, but it's really slow and it gets red hot. It's going like 5 times faster on the way out, but it doesn't need a heat shield. Okay. This thing is a joke. Okay. And people just, oh, I believe it. Here's one to completely destroy the space station. I mean, the shuttle. The shuttle went up. It dropped this 40,000 pound empty tank. It's falling back to Earth. It's going to burn up before it hits the atmosphere. The guy filming this is on the shuttle on his way to space going 20,000 miles an hour up. This thing's falling down. He's got some hell of a zoom. Now watch right here. Watch carefully. See that piece of paper? Okay. That shows you how fast this thing is going. This is a balloon. Look at the PVC along the side. This is a PVC pipe. It's like this big around. Okay. Yes. Or it's even bigger. Yes. And this thing was going like 20,000 miles an hour. Give me a break. Right. This thing is going, I think they're actually filming up. I think this is just like maybe 1,000 feet in the air, and it's a balloon. Another piece of paper went by. I guess the pilots are on the helicopter that are following this. Guy's going up on his way to space is keeping this in focus. That's ridiculous. That's insanity. Insanity.
They don't think, brother. They are. Yeah. Their minds are controlled by demons.
Right. And then they do this crazy thing where they transport the tank to NASA, and it's a parade, and it goes through a whole bunch of towns. That is a metal tank. People can knock on it. And they do that, and then it goes there, and then they fill this thing up with helium. The whole thing, rockets are helium balloons. No people are ever on them. The only person to go up on a rocket was what's his name, who killed himself trying to do the stunt, Mad Mike Hughes, who the media goes, this guy tried to prove the Earth by jumping into space. He jumped 1,800 feet like Evel Knievel, and he killed himself. Okay, he wasn't even a real that whole thing is all another. I don't want to get into it. The media ran with that, like this crazy flat earther was trying to jump 1,800 feet in the air to prove the Earth is flat. No, he wasn't. He was doing a stunt. He had a billboard that said "Research Flat Earth." That's it.
Yeah.
Right. This thing is 4 million pounds, and it's blowing around in the wind like a bouncy house.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know why it's blowing around in the wind like a bouncy house? Because it is a bouncy house.
Yeah.
It's just a helium balloon with some fireworks on the bottom. Okay. Yep. It's just nonsense.
It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. Oh, I wish I could wake all of humanity up. We would be wasting. This is what the Bible says: do not bow down to false idols.
Yeah. This is shooting out some smoke. It's not going that fast. It's lights. Those are lights lighting this up. This is just a helium balloon going up. Okay. And people are like, well, I watched it. You watched it from 10 miles away. You're right. Minimum 10 miles away. And people want to believe, right? Here is the only proof that the Chinese landed on Mars. Look, watch this thing. Watch the shadow. Watch the shadow, how good it is. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yay, we landed on Mars, right? High fives are coming. That's the only proof that they landed on Mars, okay? And people just eat it up. People eat it up. Look, they're clapping. They're going to hug, too. If they hug, it's got to be real. Oh, they're hugging. It's real.
Yeah,
it's real. It's real.
The hug seals the deal. That
seals the deal.
Real. Yep, they always hug. Freemason hug. Yes, another lie. Another victorious lie, Freemason, brother.
Yeah. And here, this is my favorite. I told the Glober the other day, after watching this, you have a choice. If you believe this is real, you're hopeless, or you have to realize it's not real and all of space is ridiculous. Look at this thing. This little flame is lifting up this multi-million pound rocket that's eventually going to go to Mars. Okay, look at this thing. This is probably real smoke. Now look at it. You can tell it's filmed from low because the ground shot, it's getting it at an angle. But then when it switches to the other shot, it's way high in the sky. Very interesting. And so watch. Now it's stopped. Now it's free falling. Now look at the speed of the smoke. This thing is 40,000 pounds. Now watch the next edit. Watch the smoke. Different speed. Ready? Look. It's barely moving. That's just the steam coming off. Okay.
Oh.
Now look how high. Now look how high it is all of a sudden. This is the onboard shot. Okay.
Oh.
This thing is free falling. It's like 40,000 pounds. Okay. Free falling. Now it's gonna look how high it is again. It's gonna magically turn on the engines, and you're gonna have the hero shot underneath it. Watch. So somehow they get underneath it. Okay. Watch this. Edit underneath. Now watch. 2 of the 3 engines are gonna go out. 40,000 pounds falling from the sky. 2 of the engines went out. Look at this flame. Look how we're not moving very fast, right? If I was driving in the car 10 miles an hour, the smoke would be coming off fast. CGI smoke. This thing lands upright, and everyone goes, yay, we're amazing. Okay? Look at this thing. This is a combination of CGI, nonsense, helium, and they didn't launch anything. Okay? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay? And people just like, well, it's got to be real. It's got to be real. Why would they lie? Why would they lie?
Oh my God, humanity.
Humanity is lost and lost in space. Look,
they are lost.
Watch this. See-through head. See-through head. Their only comeback is cosmic rays affect the film. Well, this is digital. I don't know. This is just all nonsense. Maybe he was hanging from wires. Maybe he's on a zero-G plane. It's just absolute, complete, and total nonsense, right? Yeah, let's. I haven't shown this in a while. Do you know what this is?
No.
Kelly, do you know what this is? You can talk. Ghost Kelly. She's shaking her head for those of you because nobody can see her. I can see her. Okay. This is the USA landing on Mars, where they're going to fly a helicopter in a 1% atmosphere. Now, 1% atmosphere. We watched the Red Bull guy jump from 127,000 feet or somewhere around there, and his parachute didn't open for a long ways because the air was too thin. At 127,000 feet, the air is way thicker than the 1% they tell us is on Mars. Okay? This is the only proof that we landed on Mars. Okay? You know who's laughing at this? Three good buddies, Hartman, Kyle, and Kenny. They're laughing at this. Okay? This is the only footage, the only evidence that we have that we landed on Mars. It gets better. Okay? Look at the girl. She's got a double mask on. That's good. That's good. That's good. Right? Parachute opens up with no atmosphere. What's going on there? Okay? Who's filming this? Forget that, right? This is going to come down, and this is the all the people that are in the control room that they keep cutting back to. I think that some of them might just be fresh out of space camp. You know, these people, they're watching the data. They're watching this. What happened if it crashed? Did they have a video of it crashing? Look how intense she is. Look how intense. This is good, right? What is she doing? What is her job? I'm curious. What is her job? Look at this. We got a target now on the ground. Look, the target. Wait a minute. Let's confirm that it landed, and we're going to see some high fives. Are you ready? Are you ready? Everybody, everyone at home, I want you. We just landed on Mars. Get ready. Watch this guy. Everyone getting ready, standing up, cameras. Yes, we did it. High fives. High fives. Yes. They landed on Mars. Look at this. Clapping. That's all you need to do to make people believe. This is all of the proof. Then they flew a helicopter on Mars in 1% atmosphere. Oh, wait, guess what? At sunrise, it's 120 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. At high noon, it might only be 20 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. Okay? I challenge anyone to get a camera, a drone, a battery, anything to work in just the warmer temperature, negative 20 degrees below 0. It doesn't work. Okay? They're flying drones with electronics, transmitting batteries, everything on a dusty, dirty Mars at 20 degrees below zero at the high. That's the high for the day. Are you frigging kidding me? Nothing would work. Nothing. I encourage anybody to go to Jeranism's channel, Jeranism, Jeranism. If you haven't seen this, he has a NASA comedy hour. It is way funnier than what Santos and I are doing here. He goes through NASA. He lives in California, so he might smoke something, and then he does a NASA comedy hour. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen. There's a couple episodes. Go check it out. And show it to your kids. Show it. Oh, no, don't show it to your kids. There's a little foul language in there. Right? Unlike this clean show where we don't say anything bad. Look, and we landed on what's that, Kelly?
I said, and that's a first.
Yeah, it is. It is a first.
Yep. Nasha, the serpent liar, the serpent deceiver, the beguiler. That's what NASA means.
Yeah.
And they put the serpent's tongue right there. They show that it is the false prophet of the Bible, and the false prophet misleadeth the entire inhabited earth. And look at these three false prophets sitting there, and you can tell they are as guilty. Would you look like that if you just came back from the moon? Would you even wear a suit? Why the F would you be wearing a suit? Wouldn't you be wearing wouldn't you be wearing like a, something casual and going, hey man, I'm just happy to be home. Guess what? The moon was like this and it was like that.
I don't remember seeing stars. We didn't see stars. We did see stars. I never looked up at the stars. Are you kidding me? Check this out. Santos, when you're flying in an airplane, Kelly, you too, you're flying an airplane and you're getting near your home airport and it happened to fly over your home. Have you ever done that? You ever flown over your home and you see your home? What do you say to the stranger next to you? Hey, that's my home. That's my home. You tell everyone on the plane, that's my home. The guys on Land on the Moon never once go look at the earth. Never once said, look at the earth. Okay? They should have been swearing up and down, holy effing whatever. Look at the effing earth. Holy crap. Okay? That's all that would be coming out of my mouth. Right?
Yeah.
And not once. Not once. Not once.
They were guilty of the greatest crime, deception. Yeah. They were guilty. They are liars.
But wait, these guys are all liars? Are you saying these guys are all liars?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All of them. Deceivers.
Yeah.
Satanic, demon-possessed deceivers.
Soulless.
Yeah, soulless. These are sellouts. These are the most animalistic kind of human suits that you can possibly witness. Be careful, because many, many, many people you think are human out there, they are not. They are not. They're demons.
Yeah, I totally am on board there. Totally on board. The world is crazier than even us truthers realize. Okay. Yeah. It's way, way crazier. And that's how they get away with it. They've convinced us that stuff's crazy. Oh, you mentioned, they're spraying the skies. Come on. Now they admit they're spraying the skies, and now on YouTube, you can't even say that the weather is not what they say it is, because you get deleted off of YouTube.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Crazy.
Hey, dudes, I've got 2 minutes. I'm going to be heading off to my live on Syncretism Academy. So any listeners that might be interested to come over?
Well, I guess we're losing Santos. So, Kelly, you have to take his place if he leaves.
Yeah, so in about 5 minutes, I'm gonna jump out.
No worries.
At the top of the hour, I have to do our Saturday weekly live Zoom. We got people calling in as well. So yeah, it's getting pretty popular actually. Last week we had about 100 missed phone calls.
Wow.
Yeah. People from all around the world were calling us. Just wait till we get on the next Zoom show. We'll have you on. Yeah, I'll bet you'll get about 1,000 calls.
All right, I'm in. Let's do it. We have a show next
Yeah,
week, I believe, Santos, right?
yeah, we are. Yeah, we
Okay.
had Ken Wheeler last week, and yeah, there was about 100 missed calls.
Fun, fun, fun. This is the Tupac rocket because it's a hologram. It's a hologram. We were looking at I don't know if they were satellite shots or whatever of NASA of their launch site, and we saw this equipment, or maybe there was just some photos on their website, and we're like, "What are those spotlights?" And we zoomed in on spotlights, and we got like a serial number or a company name, and we looked it up. Holographic Projection Company on NASA's lawn. Why they have a holographic projection equipment on their lawns?
Right.
I can think of one reason.
For sure.
Right.
I could think of plenty.
Right. And then this, have you ever seen this stunt plane, this crazy stunt plane? You can this doesn't have any sound, but if you hear the sound, it's amazing. This is complete CGI. And people just believe it. Because the sound goes with it. You got the smoke, you got the moving camera. It's all CGI.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mind control on steroids.
People have no idea, what they can do. It's crazy. Yeah. And then we watched, this is the landing of the SpaceX rocket on the drone ship. SpaceX rocket, right? This is a Russian movie from, I think, 1959 or whatever. Okay. They pre-programmed. There it is. And then we see this one. Now, I'm a windsurfer, kite surfer. Those waves are huge, and it's windy as hell out there. That you could probably barely stand on that thing because it's heaving and hoeing. But this thing, which is like 10 stories tall, it's landing in a windy day on a rocking raft, and it doesn't fall over. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? There's no they couldn't even land a helicopter, on that thing on that day. All right.
Yeah.
But this thing's falling out of the sky. And if you watch the whole video, it's the same as that other rocket. All of a sudden, these little fins come out, a little burst of flame, and it stops. And it stays upright, and it lands on a raft, heaving in the ocean. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Hey, I'm going to try something, guys. I'm going to unplug from my Ethernet, and I'm going to tether to my phone. If it works, I'll be walking with you all the way to the office, which is only about 5 minutes away. If not, I'll say goodbye to you now.
Thank you, Santos.
All
Greatly
right.
appreciate you being able to be here today with us. This was phenomenal.
Thank you. That was lots of fun. I wouldn't mind a copy for my channel because I like funny stuff on my channel as well.
Yes, sir. I will make sure.
All right. Thanks. See you guys.
The heliocentric model is the funniest thing out there. I have a 100 Bitcoin challenge, which is a joke. Find something dumber than the heliocentric model. Anything dumber. Anything. There's nothing. There's nothing dumber.
No.
Nothing dumber at all. What is this?
Hey, this seems to be working. I'm walking out of my house and we're still on.
It's because of the satellite coverage. It's very good over the Yucatan Peninsula.
Oh my God. I can't believe it. I'm going down my steps.
We're getting to test out his cell coverage.
All right. Okay. Let's see what happens. I'll tell you what, we'll go straight to the office.
Now this, if he goes down.
That stupid freaking tree.
Oh, he hit it. He tripped?
Yep.
Fun.
All right. So out the front gate I go. I can't believe this, man. Wow. There's your upside down rockets, your
Astronauts, where he sticks the microphone right into his neck. For those of you that haven't seen this, they're in separate rooms. It's green screen set up, and he's holding the microphone and went right into his neck. And Chris was still able to sing perfectly upside down. Again, Chris is upside down, and so am I.
Wow.
Yeah. This is how friggin' easy it is. So friggin' dumb. So dumb. That's why I get fired up sometimes when I'm talking to these people. I recommend, for those of you that haven't seen my interview with the baller, you can find it on the Flat Earth Podcast Facebook page. It's the one that has 6 people in the thumbnail, and it was probably my most fun globe smashing interview ever. I needed a Valium afterwards, which I didn't have, but it would have been good. So I ate a gummy, and that helps.
So I'm about 1 minute from the office, where you will see Daniel and the crew, where we will do our live podcast.
How can people find your live podcast tonight?
So syncretismsociety.com.
Okay.
Become a subscribed member.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we
No, not in particular, man. I just like that Suez Canal thing there. Some people saw that, and they I did a debunking video just on that, but the Globies still came out in full force, trying to debunk.
You're breaking up now.
The stupid idiots that they are.
All right, Kelly. You're breaking up.
All right, we can call it if you'd like.
All right. I'm good. Any questions? You can find me at flatearthdave.com. If you don't have my app, you want to check out the app as a tool. Don't get it because I want you to buy it. Get it because it's going to help you wake up other people. It's the best tool for doing that.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Daniel, what's going on? There you are. Doing good.
Suez, huh? Good. Hit him with the Suez.
Yeah. There's no curvature. Everything merges into perspective. And you can zoom in and see it again. Merges, zoom in, see it again.
Hey, we're about to go live in 5 minutes. Everybody tune into Syncretism Society's YouTube channel. We have Rebecca Rodriguez, our sovereignty special, jumping in deep.
Yeah, they've got their marathon thing.
Oh, yeah, do they?
Yeah,
then so sorry about that. I thought you guys are ending.
Yeah,
no. In that case, don't log off.
Don't log off. But you can see it later, right? They can see it later. They can see it later.
Love you, David.
All right, guys. All right. Kelly, I guess that's it for us, for me too.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you very much to both of you, because you're still here for a moment. Thank you, Dave. I greatly appreciate your being willing to change your schedule to be able to accommodate this marathon, even with your traveling, and being here with us today. It's greatly appreciated.
No problem. My pleasure. I love talking to people about this. That's all I do. I love my life. Life is awesome.
Well, you have a wonderful evening, David. Thank you very much for your time today.
All right. Thanks. See ya. Bye, everybody.